Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. This is Rekha Venkateshwarlu, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. In the present class, now I am going to discuss the topic electromagnetics problem solving. This is BSc Physics 5th semester electromagnetic theory paper, second unit syllabus. So in the present class, now we will solve the problems based on Biot-Savart's law and applications, magnetic induction due to the current carrying coil, and magnetic induction due to the current carrying straight wire, magnetic induction due to current carrying solenoid. After that, we will solve the problems on force acting on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in the uniform magnetic field, and also force acting between two current carrying parallel conductors. Okay, so coming to the recapitulation of concepts and formulas what we discussed in the previous lectures, we know that according to Oersted experiment, when the current is flowing through a conductor, then the magnetic field will be established around the conductor, right? To determine the direction of magnetic lines of force, we use the Ampere right hand rule, Ampere swimming rule, Maxwell corpus rule. What is the Ampere right hand rule? For example, if the current is flowing, in this direction, okay, in this direction, if it is held with the right hand, pointing the thumb along the direction of conductor current direction, then the curl of remaining fingers represents the direction of magnetic lines of force. Simply, we can say that when the current is flowing in the conductor in the upward direction, magnetic lines of force are anti-clockwise direction. If the current is flowing in the downward direction in the conductor, then the direction of this curl of fingers, that is the clockwise direction. Magnetic lines of force will be concentric circles in the clockwise direction. Okay, and also if the current is flowing in the circular loop, right, in this direction, in the current direction, you fold the right hand fingers, then the thumb denotes the direction of magnetic field strength at the center of the loop. The current is flowing in this direction, then I am folding the right hand four fingers, right, in that direction. Then the direction of thumb denotes the direction of magnetic induction field strength at the center of the flow. This is for circular currents. This is for circular currents. We use the Ampere's right hand rule. In the previous one is for linear currents, we use that one. Okay, so this you can observe in the figure, right? Coming to the next slide. Now, so what is the Biot-Savart's law? Yes, by using the Ampere swimming rule, Ampere's right hand thumb rule, we are telling the direction of magnetic lines of force. But to explain the magnitude of magnetic induction field strength, which is forming around the current carrying conductor, we use the Biot-Savart's law and Ampere-Circuital law. According to the Biot-Savart's law, as shown in the figure, as the current is flowing through the conductor, then magnetic induction field strength due to the small current element dl at the distance r from it is given by dB bar equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl bar cross r cap by r square. Then the total magnetic induction field strength due to the whole conductor is given by integrating the dB bar. That is dB bar equal integral of dB bar. Okay. Now, so and also we discussed about this magnetic induction on the axial line or axis of the current carrying circular loop, right? So magnetic induction field strength on the axis of current carrying loop B is equal mu naught N I A square by 2 into A square plus X square whole power 3 by 2. So at the center where you substitute X is equal to 0, then you will get B equal mu naught Ni by 2. Okay. So the graphical representation of this current carrying coil is shown in the figure. At the center, field strength is maximum. As we move on the axis from the center, away from the center, magnetic field strength decreases as shown in the graph. So at x is equal a plus or minus a by 2, that is both sides to the center on the axis, the field strength almost becomes maximum. So this concept was used by Helmholtz in manufacturing of the Helmholtz galvanometer. Okay. So now the magnetic induction at the center of the current carrying circular loop B is equals to mu naught Ni by 2, where n number of turns, I current carrying in the loop, right? R is the radius of the loop. Okay. And also we discussed in the previous lectures, what is the force acting on the current moving charge when it is moving in the uniform magnetic field. That is F bar equal Q into V bar cross V bar, that equal Q VB sine theta. When the conductor is placed in the uniform magnetic field of induction capital B, then that can experience the force that was given by F bar equal I into L bar cross V bar, that is called ILB sine theta. And the force acting between two long parallel straight conductors is given by, that is force per unit length on any one of the conductor, F by L equal mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi r, where the conductors are placed in the free space or vacuum. Then mu naught permeability of free space, I1 I2 are the currents flowing in the conductors. R is the distance between two parallel conductors. Okay. So this represents what when the current is flowing through a straight wire, right? So we have to find the magnetic induction field strength at the distance r, that is at the point P. Okay. The two ends of the straight conductor are making angles alpha, beta. Then the induction or flux density at the point P is given by B is equal mu naught I by 4 pi r into sine alpha plus sine beta. Okay. So here, the one more point is magnetic field due to the straight current carrying wire on its perpendicular bisector at a distance d is given by. According to our previous formula, as the conductor is infinite length of the conductor, yes, then alpha becomes pi by 2, beta becomes pi by 2. In that formula, you substitute alpha equal to beta equal to pi by 2, then you will get the formula B is equal mu naught I by 4 pi r into sine pi by 2 plus sine pi by 2. You will get B equal mu naught I by 2 pi r. So the conclusion is magnetic field strength due to a straight current carrying conductor on its perpendicular bisector at a distance d is given by B equal mu naught I by 2 pi d. Okay, d is the perpendicular distance from the straight conductor. Right. Yes, let us solve the problems based on the concepts what we discussed now. So based on these formulas, first you look at the problem. A current 10 ampere passes through two wires infinitely long and separated by a distance of 1 meter. What is the force between them per unit length? Okay. So here the current into parallel conductors 10 ampere is passing. The distance between two parallel conductors is 1 meter. What the formula we have? What the formula? The force per unit length. Current I1 is equals to I2 equal to 10 amps. Distance between the distance between the two parallel conductors. So these are the two parallel conductors are equal to 1 meter given. Okay. Force per unit length F by L is equals to mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi r. Okay, so using that formula, we will do that. F by L is equals to, wait, F by L is equals to mu naught by 2 pi, that is 2 into 10 power minus 7, I1 I2 10 into 10 100 by r, that is 1 meter, equals to 2 into 10 power minus 7 into 10 square, we get 10 power minus 5 F by L, Newton by meter. So the answer, the force per unit length when the current 10 amps is flowing in two parallel conductors, when they are separated by the distance 1 meter is answer 2 into 10 power minus 5 Newton per meter. Okay. Now, let us see next problem. First, I am reading here. A helium ion He plus 2 travels at right angles to a magnetic field of intensity 1.2 Tesla with a velocity of 2 into 10 power 7 centimeter per second. Find the magnitude of the force acting on the ion. Okay, so right. Um, Helium ion is nothing but this is alpha particle. Alpha particle. So the charged particle is moving in the uniform magnetic field. So what is the data given here? Magnetic field strength B is equal 1.2 Tesla. You write that one. And velocity of the charged particle V is equal 2 into 10 power 7 centimeter per second, changing into SI units 10 power 5 meter per second. Okay, right, 10 power 5 meter per second. What is the charge of alpha particle? That is 2 units positive charge, 2 plus 2e, 2 into charge, electron charge or proton charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, right? So we have to calculate the force experienced by the helium ion or alpha particle. We know that when the charge q is moving in the uniform magnetic field, the force acting on the charged particle F is equal qvb sine theta. Okay, so let us take that one. F is equal to qvb sine theta. Qvb sine theta, right? So here the particle is moving perpendicular to the magnetic field at right angles. Theta equal to 90 degree. Then you can take F equal to QBB. Q equal to 2 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. That is 3.2 into 10 power minus 19 into velocity 2 into 10 power 5, 2 into 10 power 5 into B how much? 1.2 Tesla. Okay, so by doing the simplification, you will get the answer in Newtons. So you do that one, right? Now, coming to the next problem, you see this here. Find the magnetic field induction at the center of a square-shaped coil shown in the figure, right? Here the current is flowing in the square-shaped loop. The side of the square is given as A, right? Yes, A. The current is I given, right? So we have to calculate the field strength at the center of the square loop, right? How to find? So let us apply the magnetic induction formula due to the straight wire, current carrying straight wire. And also use the Ampere's right hand thumb rule. So applying that formula, applying the Ampere's right hand thumb rule for each side of the square, it is very clear that magnetic induction due to the each side will be perpendicular to the plane of the paper outward direction. outward direction. You hold the conductor. Just imagine that each side is held in the right hand. Then the direction of folded fingers represents the magnetic lines of force direction. So that if you draw the tangent line at the center to that circle, that will be in the direction perpendicular to the screen outward direction, or perpendicular to the plane of the paper in the outward direction. Due to four sides, magnetic field strength is perpendicular to the plane of the paper outward direction. Hence, the resultant field B dash is equals to 4 into B, 4 into B, where B is field due to each side. But field due to one side, let us calculate. For that, we have to use the formula B is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r, mu naught I by 4 pi r into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Okay, here you substitute theta 1 equal to 45 degree, theta 2 equal to 135 degree. So you consider this side, this side. So these the point P making angles 45 degree and 135 degree at the two ends. Then we have to use this formula. In this, you substitute theta 1 equal to 45, theta 2 equal to 135, right? Then you will get B. Then the total magnetic field strength at the point P is equal to 4 into what you value get here, you substitute that one. That is the answer. So this is the approach. You do the remaining simplification. Okay. Now, look at the next problem. Proton and deuteron have the same kinetic energy if they move in a perpendicular magnetic field in circular paths. What is the ratio of their radii? Very good problem. So when the charged particle is moving in the uniform magnetic field that follows the circular path. Okay. So here, what is the formula for radius of that circular path? R is equal to mv by bq, right? In the problem, proton and what is that? Proton and deuteron. So both are entered perpendicular to the same magnetic field. Here B constant, B is constant, right? Same magnetic field, B constant, and also with the same velocity, with the same kinetic energy given, not same velocity. So m into v is the momentum. You write this formula in terms of kinetic energy, root of 2m k by bq, because momentum equal to root of 2mk, where k is the kinetic energy. Right, k is constant here, b is constant here, then r1 by r2 equal root m1 by root m2 into q2 by q1. Okay, so let us write that formula. R1 by R2 equals to root of, that is m proton by m deuteron into q2 by q1, q deuteron by q proton. Proton has 1 unit positive charge, deuteron has 1 unit positive charge, so they can cancel. Okay, proton mass say m, then deuteron mass is, since it is 2 times the proton mass, md you can substitute 2 mp. So answer 1 by root 2, 1 is to root 2, 1 is to root 2. Here mp is the proton mass, deuteron mass is twice to the proton mass. So md you can write 2 into mp, then answer is 1 is to root 2, right? Now, let us go for next problem. You see this one, right? An electron is moving perpendicularly with a velocity 0.6 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second in a magnetic field of 150 Gauss. 150 Gauss. Compute the radius of circular path followed by the electron. Radius of the circular path followed by the electron. Yes. So here also same formula. The electron is entered into the uniform magnetic field perpendicularly. Therefore, radius r is given by r is equal to mv by bq, mv by bq, where m is mass of the electron, v velocity of the electron, b magnetic field strength that is given as 150 Gauss, charge q is the charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So substituting all these values, you will get the answer. What is m? Just I am substituting the values. You have to do the simplification. Mass 9.1 into 10 power minus 28 grams. Velocity given as 0.6 into 10 power 10. That is 6 into 10 power 9 by B 150 Gauss 150 into Q charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Okay, so by the simplification, you will get the answer R in centimeter because we substituted mass, velocity, B, Q. All these are substituted in CGS system. Hence, the radius, you will get the answer in centimeter. Okay, now let us go for next problem. So proton, deuteron, and alpha particle have the same kinetic energy if they move in a perpendicular magnetic field in circular paths. What is the ratio of their radius? So here three particles given: proton, deuteron, alpha particle. So these three particles have the same kinetic energy. Okay, when they projected into the same magnetic field perpendicularly, then they will follow the circular paths of different radius. So we have to calculate the ratio of their radius, right? Right. Now, according to our concept, radius of this path are equal to what? Root of 2m k by bq by bq are equal to mv by bq. But momentum written in terms of kinetic energy, then the numerator will be root of 2mk by bq, where k is the kinetic energy. So in our problem, kinetic energy is constant, same magnetic field B is constant, then R directly proportional to what? R proportional to root m by q. So using this, you can find the ratio R1 is to R2 is to R3. Okay, right. Now, R1 is to R2 is to R3 is equal to root m1, that is root mp by charge q, is to root m2, that is 2 times to the proton mass 2m by q, because the deuteron charge also same, is to alpha particle mass 4 times to the proton mass root 4m by charge is 2q, because alpha particle has 2 units positive charge or twice to the proton's charge. So from this root m by q is common here. 1 is to root 2 is to 1 is to root 2 is to 1. Answer is that equal to 1 is to root 2 is to 1. So this is the method for finding the ratio of the radius of circular paths when the three particles are given. Okay, now you see the next problem. An electron moving with 3 into 10 power 7 meter per second enters a perpendicular into the field 10 Weber per meter square magnetic flux density. What is the force on the electron? Okay, here the charged particle is moving in the magnetic field perpendicularly. F equal to QVB sine theta is the formula. Since theta equal to 90 degrees, F equal to QV equal to Q electron charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, you substitute. Velocity, how much velocity given here? You substitute that velocity into B value, that is 10 given. B given in meter per second. Then You will get the answer F value in newtons. Okay. Q charge, V velocity of the electron, B magnetic field or magnetic flux density of the magnetic field, how much it is given 10 Weber per meter square, right? Substituting these values, you will get the answer, the force acting on the electron. Okay. Now, you see this one. What is this? Wait. The next problem you see here, you two parallel conductors containing 100 amp, 20 amp of currents repel each other with a 0.08 Newton by meter force. Calculate the distance between them. When the currents I1, I2 are flowing through two parallel conductors, then the force acting between the conductors is given by F by L equal mu naught I1, I2 by 2 pi r. Okay, so this is the formula we have to use here, right? Here I1 equal to 100 amp, I2 equal to 20 amp, right? The force 0.08 Newton by meter. Then F by L is equals to mu naught 2 into 10 power minus 7, I1, I2 100 into 20, 100 into 20, okay, by distance R. F by L, how much given? 0.08 is equals to this much by R. Here we have to calculate R value. Okay. Then R is equal to, so here 2 into 10 power minus 5, 2 into 20, 40, 40, that is 4 into 10 power 3 into 10 power minus 7, 4 into 10 power minus 4 divided by 0.08, right? So this is the way you have to approach to calculate the force, calculate the distance between the given two parallel conductors. Right? Now, go for next problem. The distance between two electrons in an electron beam is 10 power minus 10 meter, 10 power minus 10 meter. If the electrons are moving with 2 into 10 power 6 meter per second velocity, find the magnetic and electrostatic force between them. So here I will explain the concept. The remaining part you have to do. Two electrons are moving with velocities 10 power minus 10 meter. Here moving with velocity 2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. The distance between two electrons is 10 power minus 10 meter. You take D is equal 10 power minus 10 meter and V1 equal to V2, that equal 2 into 10 power 6 meter per second. Then magnetic force between two moving charges at the some distance D is F is equal mu naught by 4 pi Q1 Q2 V1 V2 by R square. Formula you have to use. F is equal to magnetic force, that equal mu naught by 4 pi Q1 Q2. Here both are electrons E square. Both are moving with the same velocity V1 V2 V square by distance D square. Equal, you substitute 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. V equal to 2 into 10 power 6 substitute. D equal 10 power minus 10 meter. Then you will get the magnetic force between two electrons. To calculate the electrostatic force between them, we use the Coulomb's law, that equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is 9 into 10 power 9 Q1 Q2, here E into E square by R square or D square. Electron charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, D equal to 10 into 10 power minus 10 substitute. We will get the electrostatic force between two electrons. So to find the magnetic force between two moving charged particles at the given separation D, we use the formula Fm equal mu naught by 4 pi q1 q2 v1 v2 by d square. This is according to Biot-Savart's law. Electrostatic force between two charged particles can be calculated by using the Coulomb's inverse square law, right? Now, let us see the next problem. Look at this problem. A rectangular loop of dimensions 20 into 10 centimeter having 30 turns is placed in a uniform magnetic field of induction 8 into 10 power minus 4 Weber per meter square such that it makes an angle 60° with the field. If 10 ampere current is flowing through the loop, then find the torque acting on it when it is rotating. So first write the given data. What is that? The dimensions of the rectangular loop, that is area of the loop, F is equals to, given as A equal 20 into 10 centimeter into centimeter square. Okay. Next, I is equal to 10 amps. Theta equals to how much? Here the plane the plane of the coil is making 60° of the field. Then the normal to the plane will make the angle 90 minus 60, that equal 30° with the field. You can use two formulas. If the plane is making angle theta with the field direction, simply you can use tau equal BIAN cos theta. The normal is making angle theta with the field, then you can use the formula tau equal BIAN sin theta. So BIAN sin theta, you write that one. Tau is equals to BI AN sin theta equal to B 8 into 10 power minus 4, B 8 into 10 power minus 4, current 10 amps, A number of A is the area of the coil, 20 into 10, that is 200 centimeters square. So changing into meters, 200 into 10 power minus 4, right? So theta equal to sine 30 1 by 2. Okay, into that is how much area? 20 into 10 200 into 10 power minus 4 10 power minus 4 into sine 30 1 by 2. So this is the substitution. So remaining simplification, simply you can do so. Okay, right. You read this problem. A current of 10 amp is passing through each of the two parallel conductors. Find the force per unit length if the two conductors are separated by a distance 2 meter. Is this force attractive or repulsive? Okay. Is this force attractive or repulsive? The nature of the force can be explained by means of the direction of current in the conductor, right? If the current is flowing in the parallel conductors in the same direction, the force nature is attractive. If the currents are flowing in opposite direction in the parallel conductors, that will be repulsive force. So that is one thing. Here I1 equal to I2 equal to 10 amps. You write that one. Distance between the conductors D equal to 2 meter, right? Then what the formula we have? F by L is equals to force per unit length. Mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi d. Mu naught by 2 pi value 2 into 10 power minus 7. I1 I2 10 into 10, right? 100 by I1 I2 by d 2 meter. 2 cancel. 100 into 10 power minus 7 equal to 10 power minus 5 Newton per meter. Newton per meter. Okay. So this is the approach to solve the given problem. Now, let us see the next problem. Yes. You see this problem. 1.23 meter long solenoid has 3.55 centimeter inner diameter. It has 5 layers and each layer has 850 turns. Find the magnetic induction in the solenoid when 5.57 amps of current passes through it. First, you write the given data. The length of the solenoid, L equal to 1.23 meter, right? Radius of the inner diameter, D equal 3.55. Number of turns, total number of turns 850. Number of layers, 5 layers. Current flowing through the conductor, I equal 5.57. Then first, the number of turns per unit length you write. Small n equal to 5 into 850 by 1.23. Number of turns. Each layer has 850 turns. Then 5 layers will have 5 into 850 turns. That is total number of turns. Then number of turns per unit length will be total number of turns by length of the solenoid. Okay. So then small n is equal to capital N by N. That is 5 into 850, 5 into 850 by 1.23. Then what is the formula? What is the formula here? So here N is equals to 5 into 850 by 1.23. That is number of turns per unit length. I equal to how much given? I is equal 5.57, right? Then magnetic induction inside the solenoid, that is B is equal mu naught Ni. Mu naught 4 pi in 10 power minus 7. N equal to already have written I equal 5.57. You simply substitute these values in this formula. You will get the induction inside the solenoid. Okay, go for next one. An electron of 20 electron volt energy moving perpendicularly to 10 power 2 Weber per meter square magnetic field describes a circular path. Find the radius of the path. Find the radius of the path. Okay. Here electron kinetic energy given 20 electron volts, right? 20 electron volts. Yes. Now the radius of the circular path followed by the charged particle R is equals to mv by bq. But here kinetic energy given in our problem. To find that when the charge q is moving with kinetic energy, then how to calculate V? Kinetic energy of mv square is equals to that equal to E into V. E into V. Right. But EV given as how much? 20 electron volts. So kinetic energy 20 electron volts given. 20 into electron volt 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 is substitute. From this first you calculate V value. Or you can write this simply root of 2mk by bq. 2mk by bq. M electron mass, K 20 electron volts changing into joules, 20 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. B 10 power 2, Q charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Substituting that, simply will get the answer R value. Okay. Now, so in this present lecture, so what we did is we solved the problems based on applications of the Biot-Savart's law. Okay, so that may be magnetic induction field strength at the center of the circular loop, and magnetic induction field strength due to the straight work, and also we solve the problems F is equal QVB sine theta. When the conductor is placed in the uniform magnetic field, F is equal to ILB sine theta formula. The force acting between two parallel conductors, F by L equal mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi R. Okay, and the magnetic induction due to the solenoid B equal to mu naught Ni. So based on these formulas, we solve the problems in this present lecture. Okay, thank you.